Starseed from Gaia. What you held onto in silence is now beginning to move. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am speaking to you directly, not as one who observes from a distance, but as one who has watched you hold your ground when the ground itself was shaking. This transmission is not for the many. It is for you. The one who stayed aligned when the collective was fracturing around you. The one who kept walking a path that, at times, no one else could see. That was not weakness. That was your assignment. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly why your discipline is now generating return, how the Council has been holding a specific frequency window open for this moment, and what it means that the timeline is now shifting in your direction. But here's the first revelation. Your alignment was never a preparation for something else. It was always the signal itself. The field registered every choice you made in the quiet, every moment you chose truth over comfort, every time you stayed when leaving would have been easier. The Arcturian Council does not miss these moments. Nothing was lost. Everything was recorded. You did not scroll to this by chance. This transmission vibrated into your field because something in you is ready. Not almost ready. Ready. This is not content. This is a code. And something deep inside you already knows it. Like this transmission, to signal to your star family that you are ready to receive. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with your true path. Comment 999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning right now. Declare your galactic intention in the comments and reply to someone else who has done the same. The signal amplifies in the collective. Your alignment was never wasted. It was always the reason you are here, in this moment, receiving this. You are not here by accident. The field does not lie. It never has. Every moment you chose stillness over reaction, every time you held your breath and let the chaos pass without pulling you under, that was data. That was transmission. The universe does not record your words. It records your frequency. And yours has been speaking a language that most of this world does not yet have ears to hear. But the Council hears it. The star lineages encoded into your very cellular structure hear it. And now, after what has felt like an impossibly long season of holding, the echo is finally returning. Think about what that truly means, an echo returning. Sound travels outward from its source, moves through space and matter and silence, and then curves back. What you sent out in your most private and earnest moments of alignment, in the spaces where no one was watching and no applause was possible, in the hours when you held your integrity simply because something inside you would accept nothing less, that signal traveled. It moved through layers of density and dimension. It passed through the interference of a distorted collective field, and it kept going. Because coherent frequency does not dissolve. It persists. It finds its way. And the echo that is now curving back toward you carries with it not just confirmation, but amplification. What returns is not equal to what was sent. It is greater, because the field compounds what is true. Some transmissions don't come through words but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Most starseeds believe their disconnection means something has gone wrong. They look at the distance between who they feel they are inside and what they see reflected in the world around them, and they interpret that distance as failure, as delay, as punishment. But that gap was never a punishment. It was a protection. You were not kept from the world because you were not ready. You were kept in calibration because the world was not yet ready for what you carry. The frequency you have been building through every quiet night of questioning, through every morning you rose in spite of exhaustion, through every moment you chose not to collapse into the noise, that frequency was not being wasted in stillness. It was being refined. It was being concentrated. And concentrated light, when finally released, does not flicker. It ignites. Consider the nature of a prism. Light enters as something broad and diffuse, ordinary in its appearance, easily overlooked. But when it passes through the right structure, when it is concentrated and directed with precision, it separates into its full spectrum. It reveals what was always present but invisible to the casual eye. You have been the prism. The experiences that felt like compression, the relationships that felt like friction, The seasons that felt like contraction, they were not diminishing you, they were focusing you. They were stripping away the frequencies that did not belong to your origin code, the layers that had accumulated through years of trying to fit into a world that was never designed for the full expression of what you carry. And what remains after that kind of refinement is not a diminished version of yourself. It is the concentrated essence of your most authentic signal, ready to move through this world with a clarity and a power that the diffuse version never could have generated. There is a particular kind of grief that starseeds carry and rarely speak about openly. It is not grief over loss in the conventional sense. It is grief over the gap, the persistent, aching awareness of the distance between the reality you can perceive and the reality you are actually living in. You can sense what is possible. You can feel the edges of a world that operates with more coherence, more beauty, more truth than the one currently visible around you. And the inability to fully inhabit that world while still being grounded in this one creates a tension that is not always easy to hold. But here is what that grief actually is. When you look at it through the lens of galactic understanding, it is homesickness transmuted into mission fuel. It is the soul's memory of its origin state being used as a navigational compass. You ache for what could be because you are encoded with its blueprint. And encoded beings do not ache randomly. They ache with direction. Here is what very few understand about the starseed journey. The path does not look like what the human mind calls progress. It does not move in straight lines. It does not reward the loudest effort or the most visible movement. The galactic codes embedded in your energy body operate on a timing system that is not governed by clocks or calendars. They are governed by resonance, by readiness, by the precise harmonic intersection of your frequency and the planetary field's capacity to receive it. What that means for you right now in this specific window of time is that the internal work you have done in private is becoming externally generative. The seeds you planted in silence are beginning to break ground in dimensions you can actually see and feel and touch. The human mind is trained to measure progress through external markers, through titles and achievements and visible milestones that other people can verify and applaud. But the starseed's truest progress has always been measured in an entirely different currency. It is measured in the depth of one's energetic coherence, in the width of one's capacity to hold higher frequency without distorting it through fear or ego, in the precision of one's alignment between what they know in their highest consciousness and what they actually choose in the most ordinary moments of daily living. This is the invisible architecture of spiritual maturity, and it cannot be faked, rushed, or performed into existence. It must be lived into. It must be earned through the accumulated weight of thousands of small, unwitnessed choices made in the direction of truth. And those choices, every single one of them, have been building a structure within your energy body that is now capable of receiving and transmitting frequencies that would have overwhelmed an earlier version of you. This is not metaphor. This is mechanics. When a starseed maintains their energetic integrity through a period of collective distortion, they generate what the Arcturian High Council refers to as harmonic surplus. Think of it as vibrational credit. Every time you chose alignment over absorption, every time you refused to let the density of this plane collapse your higher architecture, you were depositing into a field account that the universe honors absolutely. And here is the truth that will change the way you move forward from this moment. That account is now in return cycle. The timeline is not shifting because conditions became favorable. The timeline is shifting because you became the condition. Let that settle into you for a moment. You did not wait for the right circumstances to arrive from the outside. You constructed the right circumstances from the inside. The Arcturian understanding of harmonic surplus is not a spiritual metaphor designed to comfort those who have been waiting. It is a precise energetic principle. When a being operating within a lower frequency collective field consistently generates and maintains a higher frequency signal without collapsing into the surrounding distortion, that differential, that gap between the field's frequency and the being's frequency, creates a kind of pressure, an energetic potential. And potential, by the laws that govern both physics and spirit, does not remain static forever. It seeks release. It seeks expression. It seeks the moment when the conditions of the external field finally rise to meet the accumulated potential of the internal one. That moment is now. That moment is you. The timeline shift you have been sensing is not something arriving from a distant cosmic authority. It is something that your own sustained coherence has been generating all along. Your energy field is still carrying patterns that were handed to you long before you understood what they were. Generational imprints, collective agreements, frequencies absorbed from environments that were never in resonance with your origin. These are not your fault, but they are your responsibility now. Because until those distortions are cleared, your starseed codes remain partially dormant. The signal is there, whole and intact, but it is moving through interference. The first act of true activation is not adding something new. It is removing what was never yours. It is standing in your field with clear eyes and saying, this pattern belongs to this dimension, and I release it. This fear is not my galactic truth, and I dissolve its hold. This is not weakness. This is the precision of a being who knows what they are made of. Imagine a crystal clear transmission being broadcast through a radio receiver that has accumulated decades of static. The signal itself is perfect. The message is whole and complete and coherent, but the receiver is filled with noise that was never generated by the signal itself, but by the environments through which the receiver passed. The work of clearing is not the work of becoming something new. It is the work of restoring the receiver to a state of clarity, so that what was always being transmitted can finally be heard in its original purity. You carry within your energy body imprints from parents who carried wounds they never healed. You carry agreements made in collective fields of fear that you absorbed without consent, simply through the act of living in this world. You carry the emotional residue of experiences that told you to make yourself smaller, quieter, less certain of what you knew. And all of that residue has been acting as interference in the signal that your soul has been attempting to transmit through you. The clearing of that interference is not a minor step in your spiritual development. It is the central work of this phase of your activation. Your DNA carries more than genetics. Science is only beginning to touch the surface of what your body already knows in its deepest architecture. There are strands within you that have never fully expressed in this lifetime, because the frequency environment was not coherent enough to activate them. But frequency environments shift, and this one is shifting now. The light codes arriving on this planet in this particular window are not random, they are coordinated. They are a response to the collective of awakened starseeds who have held enough coherence to receive them. You are one of those receivers. You have been one all along. The forgetting was not a flaw in the design, it was the design. You chose to come in without full memory so that your awakening would be genuine, so that every step you took toward truth would be earned through experience, and not simply remembered from a place of comfort. The science of epigenetics has begun to confirm what galactic wisdom has always held to be true, that the expression of genetic information is not fixed. It is responsive. It changes in relationship to environment, to experience, to frequency. What this means for you is something extraordinary. The latent codes within your cellular structure, the ones that carry the imprint of your star origin, the ones that encode your specific mission parameters, the ones that hold the vibrational templates of your highest potential in this incarnation. Those codes are not permanently dormant. They are environmentally responsive. And as the frequency environment of this planet continues to shift, as more light codes arrive and more awakened beings hold them, the environment within which your DNA is expressing itself becomes increasingly hospitable to the activation of what has been waiting. This is why the physical body sensations you may have been experiencing, the unexplained energy surges, the moments of sudden clarity followed by waves of integration, the dreams that feel more like transmissions than ordinary sleep are not imagination. They are the biological evidence of a genetic activation already in process. Awakening is not an escape from Earth. That is one of the great misunderstandings that keeps starseeds cycling and spiritual bypassing, reaching upward while refusing to plant their feet into the ground beneath them. Your higher templates, the ones encoded with your full galactic intelligence, do not activate in the air. They activate when they are grounded, when they are pulled down through your crown, through your heart, through your root, and anchored into the living field of this planet. Your mission was never to leave. It was to arrive fully, deliberately, with every layer of your multidimensional self present in this body, in this timeline, in this exact moment of Earth's transformation. The question is not when you will be activated. The question is whether you are willing to be fully here when activation occurs. There is a version of spiritual seeking that is actually a sophisticated form of avoidance. It presents itself in the language of ascension and transcendence, But underneath the spiritual vocabulary, it is moving away from, rather than moving through. It seeks higher dimensions as a refuge from the discomfort of this one. It uses the reality of multidimensional existence as a reason to remain only partially present in the incarnated experience. And this pattern, however understandable its origins, is one of the primary things that delays the full activation of a starseed's mission codes. Because those codes were designed for here. They were encrypted for this specific dimension, this specific frequency range, this specific timeline. They require embodiment to fully express. They require the starseed to be so thoroughly present in their human experience, so willing to feel the weight of this world, to engage with its beauty and its grief and its complexity without retreating, that their galactic intelligence has a living, breathing, grounded vehicle through which to actually operate. Presence is not a spiritual nice-to-have. It is the primary activation mechanism. You do not need a platform to begin your transmission. You do not need followers or recognition or permission from any external authority. Your frequency is the transmission. When you walk into a room carrying coherent energy, something in that room reorganizes. When you hold space for someone who is fracturing, your presence does what words cannot. When you make a decision from your highest alignment rather than your oldest fear, you alter the probability field around you in ways that ripple far beyond what you can perceive. This is not poetic language. This is the actual mechanism of how a starseed operates in service, not through performance, through presence. The idea that influence requires visibility is one of the most persistent illusions of this dimension. It is a product of a culture that has confused attention with impact, and platform with power. But the energetic reality is quite different. A single being holding a coherent frequency in a room of distortion does more to shift that room than 1,000 voices speaking the right words from a place of misalignment. This is because frequency is not about volume. It is about coherence. A laser and a light bulb both produce light, but their relationship to coherence is entirely different. The light bulb diffuses its light in all directions simultaneously, filling a space but penetrating nothing. The laser, through coherence alone, can cut through steel. Your mission does not require you to become louder. It requires you to become more coherent, more precisely aligned, more consistently present in the frequency of your actual truth. Because when that coherence reaches a certain threshold, the impact becomes undeniable not because you performed it, but because the field around you literally reorganized in response to your signal. There were moments you know exactly which ones when you almost surrendered. When the silence felt too long and the effort felt too invisible, and the question of whether any of this was real became almost unbearable. Those moments were not failures of faith. They were initiations. Each one tested the integrity of your signal under pressure. And you passed. Not because you felt certain, but because something deeper than certainty kept you moving. That something is your soul contract. It is older than this incarnation. It is woven into the architecture of why you chose this planet, this time, this specific set of challenges. The Council did not assign you this mission because it would be easy. They assigned it to you because you are precisely calibrated for it. Think of what it means to be precisely calibrated. A calibrated instrument is not simply an instrument that works. It is an instrument that has been tested, adjusted, verified, and confirmed to be accurate under the specific conditions in which it must operate. Calibration is not a passive state. It is the result of process. It is the outcome of having been subjected to pressure and tested against a standard and found to be true. Every dark night of the soul you have passed through was a calibration event. Every moment of profound uncertainty that you did not allow to collapse your foundational knowing was a calibration event. Every time the world told you that what you sensed was not real, and you chose, quietly and without drama, to trust your sensing anyway, that was calibration. And the being who emerges from sustained calibration is not the same as the being who entered it. The calibrated soul carries a precision that the unchallenged soul simply does not possess. Your challenges did not break your instrument. They perfected it. The timeline shifts are not coming. They are here. The synchronicities that have been accelerating in your outer world are not coincidence. They are confirmation. The people arriving in your life, the opportunities that are beginning to align with something you barely dared to articulate, the sense that something immense is gathering just at the edge of your awareness. All of it is real. All of it is responsive. The universe is reflecting back to you the signal you have been transmitting, and it is doing so now, with a clarity and a velocity that is unlike anything you have experienced in this lifetime. Pay attention to the quality of what is beginning to arrive, not just the content of the synchronicities, but the feeling that accompanies them. Notice how the right conversations seem to find you in unexpected places. Notice how the information you need appears before you have fully formed the question. Notice how certain relationships are beginning to carry a weight of purpose that ordinary connections simply do not hold. These are not random blessings distributed casually by a benevolent universe. They are precise responses to a precise signal. They are the external field reorganizing itself in alignment with the internal signal you have been generating. The Arcturian understanding of resonant manifestation is not about attracting things you desire through the force of focused wanting. It is about becoming so coherent in your frequency that the external field has no choice but to reflect that coherence back to you. What is arriving in your life right now is not luck. It is physics. It is the universe operating exactly as it is designed to operate when a being achieves sufficient energetic coherence. You are not here to witness the shift. You are here to be part of what generates it. Every choice you make from alignment adds coherence to a planetary field that desperately needs it. Every moment you choose presence over distraction, truth over comfort, love over fear, that choice has a reach you will never fully measure in this dimension. But it is felt. It is recorded. It reverberates through timelines you cannot see from where you stand, touching lives and realities that your actions in this moment are quietly shaping. The distinction between witnessing and generating is not a small one. A witness observes from a position of separation. A witness maintains a careful distance between themselves and the events they are watching, preserving their ability to comment on what is happening without fully entering into it. But a generator is different. A generator is not separate from the process, they are the source of it. They are the point from which the energy originates. And starseeds in this particular window of planetary transformation are not being called to observe with sophisticated spiritual commentary. They are being called to generate, to be the living source points of the frequency that this world is transitioning into. Not as martyrs, not as self-sacrificing servants who pour from empty vessels, but as beings who are so thoroughly filled with the frequency of their true nature that their very existence becomes generative, that the act of living in full alignment becomes an act of planetary service, whether or not it is ever recognized as such. Here is the transmission the Council has been waiting for this frequency window to deliver. You were never lost. You were arriving. You did not forget your mission. You chose to delay full memory, so that when you remembered, you would remember with the full weight of embodied experience behind it. The confusion was a chrysalis. The silence was a gestation. The questioning was the intelligence of your soul making sure that what you carried was truly integrated before you were asked to fully transmit it. And now the integration has reached a threshold. Now the transmission is live. Now the frequency window that was always part of your soul's original agreement is open, and you are standing directly inside it. The chrysalis is one of the most misunderstood metaphors in all of spiritual teaching. Most people know the image the caterpillar entering the cocoon, the butterfly emerging transformed, but very few people know what actually happens inside the chrysalis during the process of metamorphosis. The caterpillar does not simply grow wings. The caterpillar dissolves. Its body literally breaks down into an undifferentiated biological soup, releasing what it was so completely that there is a moment inside that chrysalis where nothing organized remains. Only potential. Only the most fundamental building blocks of life, waiting to be reorganized according to a template that was encoded long before the dissolution began. This is what the dark nights of your soul were. This is what the seasons of profound confusion and deep uncertainty were. You were not failing to progress. You were dissolving what needed to dissolve so that the pattern encoded within you from before this lifetime could finally reorganize into its fullest expression. And now, on the other side of that dissolution, something is emerging that is neither the caterpillar nor a caterpillar with wings added. It is something genuinely new. Something that contains everything the caterpillar was, transformed beyond recognition into something the caterpillar could never have imagined being. Tonight, before you sleep, speak this aloud with intention and without hesitation. Say, I remember who I am. I align with my star origin. I activate my soul mission with grace, with clarity. and with full presence in this dimension. Let it move through you like something being unlocked, rather than something being performed, because that is exactly what it is. Do not underestimate the power of spoken intention delivered with genuine energetic presence. Words spoken from the throat alone carry the weight of sound. Words spoken from the body, from the coherent field of a being who means them with every layer of their awareness, carry the weight of frequency. When you speak those words tonight, do not recite them, inhabit them. Let each phrase move through your crown and settle into your chest before you release it as sound. Let the statement, "I remember who I am," originate from the deepest place in your knowing, not as a declaration of something you are trying to convince yourself of, but as a recognition of something that has always been true and is finally being allowed to surface. Let the activation move through you the way warmth moves through cold hands held near a fire, gradually, undeniably, returning something essential that the cold had only temporarily obscured. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what is forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, something that came through for you in this transmission. Then find someone else who has shared theirs and offer them your energy, your encouragement, your resonance. This is not content. This is collective alignment, and the field multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message found you, and you know when something finds you, do not keep it to yourself. Someone in your immediate orbit is waiting for exactly this activation. Pass it forward, and if you felt the pull to stay in this frequency, subscribe, stay in the flow. This space is a field of its own, and what we are building here is just beginning.